even in this age. So is it cool being a teenager in 2016? Because it wasn't cool being a teenager when I was a teenager. Seems like life is just kind of pushing stuff at you, right? And make all these decisions. Well, always keep God first. Always know who you are and whose you are. Always know that you are upright in the royal priesthood, like it says in God's word. And don't let anybody steal your joy, your dreams, or your aspirations. Like, what do you want to do when you get older? When you're an orthopedic surgeon, do you know what they do? Have you ever seen what they do? I can suggest that perhaps, as the doctor said, when you get to be a certain age, try to be a candy striper at one of the local hospitals. Now, I actually was a volunteer at MLK before it was a community hospital. That place is fabulous. Now, when I was a volunteer there, I was scared to go volunteer on the weekends, but I was doing it as part of a class elective, how you guys do service. I know now it's a requirement. Back then it wasn't a requirement, but there was a couple of us because we were pre-med, we wanted to be doctors, we wanted to see. So we used to call it the Friday night special or the Saturday night special because anything and everything could come into that hospital on the weekends. And you could see a little bit of everything. So I actually got caught in the room when the lady was giving birth, and I couldn't leave the room because it was happening. And I was about 16. I saw some orthopedic surgery. They were like, it was just fascinating. And so, even as an adult, I remember all these wonderful things I did as a young person. And now I have a daughter, she's 8.5, and I'm like remembering what I used to do in the 3rd grade, because she's a 3rd grader, so I get to go through the 3rd grade all over again. And when she gets to be your age, you know what? I'm going to really check the school out. Maybe I'll send her here. I'll be going through the 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th grade with her. And I hope I have a blast. I hope she thinks I'm a cool mom. And if she doesn't, that's okay. Because I'm still a cool mom. Because I know who I am. What about you, young lady? What would you like to do when you get older?
I want to be a pediatrician when I get older.
Okay, so you want to work with?
Kids.
But what type of children? Because there's specialties within pediatrics. Did you know that? Lots of specialties. That's a very fascinating field, actually. In fact, I'm sure the good doctor can tell you that. She's family practice. I mean, she sees everybody. From the cradle to the grave. She sees from the baby to the grandma to the great-grandma. Everybody in the household can go. In fact, sometimes it's good to go to a family practice doctor because they can help you get to the right specialists. And we actually, in this part of the world, we have some good family practice doctors of color who are very well educated. My doctor is Dr. Valentin Hernandez. He's right there on Hawthorne Boulevard, and he went to Harvard. And he's born and raised, in the neighborhood. And even though I don't even live out here anymore, he's my doctor. And you don't even need an appointment to see him. He takes everybody, and he sees everybody. You come in that office, it might be kind of crowded, but he will see you. What about you, sir? Elijah, what would you like to be when you get older?
Well, I love food, so I like to be a chef.
A chef. And so where would you like to go? There's many schools. They're local. They're in Europe. There's a Cordon Bleu right there in Pasadena. There's a Cordon Bleu in Paris. And in San Francisco. Haven't given it much thought? Can I tell you guys a secret? You want to get in on a really important secret? Even though right now a lot of stuff is coming at you, it would behoove you. Do you guys know what that word means?
What?
It would behoove you.
Surprise you or help you.
It would be to your advantage and to your best interest. See, when I was a kid, we didn't really have internet and computers, so you know what my mother and father gave me? A dictionary and thesaurus. And you know what I was supposed to do? Learn some new words each and every day to expand my what? Vocabulary. Because no matter what profession you decide to pick, you need to be able to speak the King's English extremely properly. And you need to be able to project your voice, and you need to be able to get your point across in a very productive way. So it would behoove you to pick maybe 1 or 2 things that you're highly interested in. And because you guys have so much at your fingertips, we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have this internet thing called the internet that was actually created right here in Southern California. Did you guys know that? Okay, glad somebody knew that. And find everything you need to find out about. Because if I come back here in 3 weeks and I ask everybody, hey, got some information for me? What'd you find out about that profession that you were interested in? my expectation as a professional is that you can deliver. In my job in PR, I have to deliver. You guys know what that means? Like, I have to make it happen. That means if there's a event and certain things have to be done, we call them deliverables in my business, I have to make sure I what? Deliver. So example for this week, my boss has been telling the staff that he really wants to get into the outside universe and talk about arts education, not just within the school systems or the state. He wants to talk about it in the entertainment industry. What happened a couple of weeks ago in the entertainment industry that's been on the news and people are talking about? Anybody know? Anybody pay attention to the Oscars and any of that stuff? Oscars so white, diversity, I'm just saying, right?
Jada Pinkett Smith and the other girl.
Yeah, so people are, and Spike was saying, you know what, we're not gonna go, and this is why. So, the contract that I have now, I work in arts education, and so it seemed to me to be a prime time to have a